We can call the meeting to order at 7:02. Record those members absent. Present.
Smith. Eden. Herrera.
Yes.
Morris.
Yep.
Jessup.
Yes. Item 2 is presentation by drama department students. Madam Secretary.
I even have it with my words down. I want to say thank you to you for giving us this opportunity to perform. This is the first performance outside the classroom.
Item number 3 is the consent agenda. The following items of routine nature normally approved at board meetings will be approved by one vote unless any board member desires to have a second vote on any or all of these items. The consent agenda consists of discussion, consideration, and approval of the following items. A, minutes of September 23rd regular meeting. B, activity fund expenditures. C, approve encumbrances for and signing warrants of A, general fund, B, building fund, and C, child nutrition. Just right over. Anybody had a chance to look over any discussion? Put a motion on item 3.
Make a motion to approve item 3. Except that totally drawn blank.
Abstain. Are you abstaining from it?
And I abstain. I don't have to abstain until I vote, right? I've never done that before.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. I make a motion we accept the consent agenda.
Sure.
Yeah.
All those in favor?
Smith.
Yes.
Rivera. Yes. Morris.
Yes, but I abstain on 149 and 161.
And Jessup. Yes.
Item 4 is superintendent and principal.
Okay. Weapon bills came in over the fall break and redid the units we were discussing in the cafeteria. That does look totally different in there. And it looks to be in much better working condition. You saw on your encumbrances that encumbrance for that amount. You're keeping up with your news. The District A through F report cards have drawn a lot of attention lately. On your report is a quote there that came out from COSA today. State Department released the preliminary grades to schools on October 16th. To get those grades, we have to go in and click on an agreement that we will not disclose what those grades are until the state releases them. Also, in that quote from COSA, unfortunately, the grades have continued to change since October 16th, with the most recent change occurring on Saturday the 26th, and because the SDE has failed to accurately compute grades for schools. That's their quote, not mine. 25th, the superintendent announced that she was delaying the official release of school report cards due to concerns regarding their accuracy. The latest release dates has the grades being released during sometime in November. My concern is how viable a grading system is for, how viable is a system that the kids take the test in April and you can't release the results of that until the following November. You're taking those tests, the majority of them, on a computer-based system.
And this is still through the Tate McGraw Hill. Is that
Yeah.
the system?
Many of those tests are a computer-based system. You're taking them in the 4th month or the start of the 5th month, and we're not getting our results back until the 11th of the month. And the state's paying millions and millions of dollars for that.
Didn't the state get reimbursed a portion of that? Because
Well,
of the fault?
the state didn't get a monetary reimbursement. The state received services.
Well, equivalent, I guess. They wouldn't reimburse the state directly, but
So, fall carnival was a success, and now basketball season's upon us. Had something occurred today, as we discussed last time. We ordered uniforms. Something has come up late today. We're going to find ourselves short of girls' uniforms right here off the bat due to an unfortunate ordering snafu that occurred late today. We will be again working on a solution to that problem early in the morning, which may involve a fast trip to southern Oklahoma to try to get some uniforms made tomorrow.
they can't play in their jerseys for their warm-ups.
But we'll keep you informed. I
I'm
happen to
very
know a
sure.
guy who knows a guy who can copy, who can make uniforms. And we are going to go see a guy about some uniforms.
We'll be short.
We got more girls out, you know, the uniforms that we have, we're short. And if we've got kids out, I want them all to have a uniform and have them all looking just fine if we can get that done. And I think that we can take the uniforms that the district bought, and I think we can get something made that'll look just like them. The thought process was to order a new set, home and away. And late this afternoon, the Baptist, or Lids, called and informed us that we may be 6 weeks away from getting our uniforms that was promised to us this week, which is a little bit late. Be letting us know. Don't you say a word.
Hey, that's the rears right there, what I was talking about.
But just let y'all know that's where we're at, and we're going to try to get taken care of. Okay.
Tonight, basketball season has kicked off. We're probably playing right about now. Elementary teams are at Moreland at the Moreland tournament. We're playing by side tonight. Depending on how that goes, win or loss, we'll play it. You know, times already preset for the tournament tomorrow. And if we continue winning, if you lose two, you're out. So there's a chance we'll play on Saturday. Those times are posted on the office there, the main office door, brackets there, and that starts off tonight. It starts basketball season. Then next week, junior high school is going to start on Tuesday. We've got home game here with Yarborough, and since they're driving a great distance and it's on a Tuesday night, we're going to accommodate them. Start our junior high girls at 2 o'clock, and then begin the high school games about 4:30. Try to get them going 4:30 so they can get back home on a school night. Fall Carnival went off well. Everything went well. Had a great turnout of people. Seniors, they had to have a little silent auction this year. Didn't receive quite as many donations as they have in the past. And what they did have was really good. I think they raised right near $1,000 off of that. So they did pretty well on that. And with our scheduling this year of basketball, they'll actually have, last year we had 8 home games. We got 10 this year, so they should have plenty of opportunity to raise all the money they'll need to raise for the senior trip. And overall, you know, I know the haunted house, spook house, whatever they called it, that night went pretty well. I think everybody really enjoyed that and seemed to go over really well. Last Wednesday we had a blood drive here. Had a lot of people show up to give blood. Not just our kids, but also community members. A lot of people came up to give blood. And that was good for our kids. And then a little earlier in the month, on the 13th, we had a spaghetti dinner, raised right near $800 for that. Trying to raise money to get traveling uniforms for our kids, high school and elementary jerseys, bags for our teams. The club's helping with that. I know they've raised a considerable amount already to help out with those things. So I think the ability to purchase all these things will be able to do that pretty quick. The second week of October, our high school teams had 3 scrimmages. We went to Lahoma to taking on Cimarron, playing Fargo and Tyrone here. That happened on a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Team showed a lot of growth where they left off, and I know Coach Huff's very positive about where they're at, where they need to be for the start of the season. And then at the beginning of October on the 3rd, we had Tracy Ellison. She is the reach coach for this area, and she presented a little, I call it a program called Love, Read, Learn. It's something that's sponsored by Dollar General and Barbara Bush Foundation. And she comes and presents this to our parents and teachers who are there, and they get a bag of different items, books and things that they can read at home with their kids. And it's basically a program to help foster a love of reading with kids. And those all came free. All we had to do was request it, and I requested it from Miss Ellison, and we got it. Mrs. East, our facilitator, was here twice this last month. She'll be here again this month 2 times. She and I have seen a lot of growth of our teachers in their buy-in implementation of Alpha Plus. I think students are starting to thrive on the system, and I'm able to see a lot of growth in where they're taking their formative tests, and we will know a whole lot more here in about 3 weeks. They'll take a second summative test on November 19th, and that'll give us a real good measuring stick of where we're at with our students and with their knowledge of the objectives they have to know for their test at the end of the year. Our elementary students are going to be working on rehearsing and getting ready for a little Christmas program later this semester. We're not going to have a huge production this year like we did last. Students will be learning those songs as class groups. They'll get those ready to go, and we'll have a little program right before break. And we decided that rather than taking a lot of class time out each day like we did last year, that the teachers really wanted to take that time and spend it more in the classroom teaching their kids and work periodically on these songs, and they're going to work together too, as you know, from pre-K up to 5th, to each class learn certain songs, and then perhaps have them all learn a couple of songs that they can all sing as a large group together. So Christmas play will be a little bit different this year than it was, but it'll still be good. Book fair, you can see it's packed up and ready for pickup. They're supposed to be here this week to pick it up. We had a target total of $1,000, blew that away, had raised just over $2,000 on the book fair just like this past spring. And we will get, I believe it's 50% that we get to spend on books and things for the library, that Dawn will get to get on Scholastic and buy books for the library. So it's always good news. And lastly, the barns are beginning to fill up with animals as season approaches. On your encumbrances, you saw an order in there on the building fund for a couple of portable sheds to house animals, so we can get those animals out from underneath the lean-to porch area there and get some new housing for them, so we can start utilizing that to put our buses underneath where they were originally determined to go. And those should be here, I hope, this week. Possibly they were going to be here last week, but I think they're going to be here this week. And also comment on what Mr. McQuiston had said about the A through F report card. For me, looking at it from our end, the administrative end, you know, you give us, as the State Department gives us a grade on basically those subjects that are tested, you know, English, math, science, social studies. And I know a concern that some of us have in the administrative realm is there are a lot of other classes that are taught besides those classes that are not assessed, that are not part of our grade. You know, we have computer classes and Spanish classes and agriculture classes and other things that go on in the school on a day-to-day basis. And there's a, you know, very small percentage of classes that are actually used for this grade. And I know there's a lot of discussion from, I think Mr. Bush said, COSA, about the fairness of that on how we're graded. And a lot of the classes that we teach are left out of that calculation. So I know our grade has changed at least once in this time frame. So we shall see if it changes again. A lot of districts have had a lot more changes. So we'll see.
Item 5, board to consider and possible vote to approve resignation of support staff member Jovita Rhodes.
Mrs. Rhodes is working at Freedom West.
Make a motion to approve item number 5. Second.
All those in favor?
Smith,
Yes.
Herrera,
Yes.
Morris.
Yes.
Jessup.
Yes. Item 6, board to consider and possible vote to approve extra duty contract for Charles Huff to drive north bus route 1 time per day. Mornings, 136 days at $15 a day for a total compensation of $2,040, retroactively beginning October 8th, 2013.
Trying to cover that with Coach Huff. Started giving our current teaching staff an opportunity to do that through the winter where we don't have a lot of yard work. I decided to go that route with the board's approval. Also, I talked to Brenda. Brenda's working full-time. We'll have that with the board's approval at the next board meeting. And it's really going to be difficult for Brenda to keep up, but through the winter months, I discussed it with her. Said we're going to try to bring that support staff salary back in-house. We're going to try to save money through the winter months there. I told her the day that she feels like it's too much for her to come to me and let me know, and we'll take care of it right then. But if we have a maintenance issue that we need to bring in contractors, I mean, that's no problem. That's what we've been doing anyway. But if it becomes a situation where she doesn't feel like she can stay on top of it, or there's something that we see that is not getting taken care of, or if it becomes an issue, we're going to take care of it, but as long as she feels like she can do it, and until the yard starts getting away from us in the spring, we're not going to fill that second support staff position and see how long we can wait. Maybe we can go with the salary here for about 4 or 5 months. So that's what I'm looking at there.
So he's the only one that's going to be doing an additional bus route. Brenda will still be
This is
running her route.
covered for Mrs. Rhodes, right?
Yes, that's cover bus route.
Is that all she was doing, or was she?
No,
doing some
she was
mechanical
working a support staff position. She was working a full-time support staff position, and Brenda was working 6 hours a day. So what we're doing is we're absorbing a full-time support staff position. We're paying $2,000 to an extra duty contract and taking Brenda from 6 hours to 8 hours.
Did you see how feisty she was on Friday? I'm just kind of worried about her.
I had a conversation with her on Friday. Had her sit down in my office and we talked about it. And I told her again on Friday because I was worried about, the carnival, and I said, basketball game's coming up. And I said, I told you, at any time when it becomes too much, and I told her it will become too much, you come talk to me. Do not hesitate to come in here and let me know that it's too much. And at that time, we'll get you help. Oh yeah, I will. I'll do it. So
She's a feisty one. She didn't want to tell you
every
she
month, every month I can do that. I'm dollars ahead. If I feel like she's getting it done. And if she's getting it done, she's getting it done. And if it's not getting done, I'm going to tell her it's not getting done. And we're going to look for somebody. So,
Sounds good.
Make a motion to approve item 6.
Second.
All those in favor?
Smith.
Yes.
Herrera.
Yes.
Morris.
Yes.
Jessup.
yes.
Item 7, board to consider and possible vote to approve, disapprove, or take no action on fiscal year 14 contract for secondary career and technology education programs.
Excuse me. Every year, the board has to approve the contract with Career Tech to have your Career Tech programs. Ours is agriculture education. So this is housekeeping. You have to, in the spring of the year, you have to approve your intent for the next year. In the fall, you have to actually approve the contract, and that's what this is.
Your motion?
Approve item number 7.
Second.
All those in favor?
Smith.
Yes.
Herrera.
Yes.
Morris.
Yes.
Jessup.
Yes. Item 8, consideration and possible vote to approve, disapprove, or take no action to accept dual enrollment credits, including math and science, from Northwest Technology Center.
This is another housekeeping for accreditation when that comes in the spring for both our benefit and for Northwest Technology Center, that students who go there for career tech courses who are short in math and science and have to take a math or science course at Northwest Tech Center get math and science credit for those courses here also. And that's required for accreditation for them and for us, but it has to be approved each year in a board meeting. And we did this last year also.
Make a motion to approve item 8.
Second.
All those in favor?
Smith.
Yes.
Herrera.
Yes.
Morris.
Yes.
Jessup.
Yes. Item 9, board to review and possible vote to approve, disapprove, or take no action on adoption of Freedom Public Schools activity fund policy and procedures.
Okay. This is this little item. This is something that, if approved, we have internally have to tighten up our procedures here in our school district on how we handle activity funds with our staff. This is a handbook that I can provide and go over with our staff members and give those staff members step-by-step guidelines on how they're expected to handle and the proper procedures on how they're handling their activity fund accounts. Also give some backgrounds on how to do things according to statute, like ticket drawings, cash advances when they travel according to state statute, what types of expenditures are allowable. And it also sets in board policy things that they can do for fundraisers, those types of things. It has the state sanctioning policy for the Booster Club, the Booster Club here. It also has a copy of the state law and Department of Education regulations in it, right out of the law book. And it has the Board of Education policy, which comes out of Title 70. And if it's approved, and also in the back would be a set of, we use little sheets and things like that. In our activity fund, it has a set of forms that we would transition to on a fundraiser request, a activity fund ledger sheet, and how to track tickets, and do a balance sheet at the ball games, and like selling tickets at a carnival, and balance the money box against the ticket sales. And when you want to transfer funds from one activity to another, and when you make a mistake as a sponsor, there's a sheet in here. If you do it wrong, you don't follow policy, that this is going to be filled out, and it's going to go in your personnel records. And when you do a fundraiser, you're going to fill this out. How much product you purchased, what you sold it for, what your expected revenue is going to be, what your profit's going to be, and at the end of it, how much you deposited, what your minus or plus is, where the rest of your product is, where the rest of your profit or loss is. It's those types of things. I hope you had the opportunity to look through it. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to try to
It's
answer.
not like reading mine and just tell you.
It's all about establishing a verification paper trail to protect our staff. That's what it's all about.
There's a handbook or whatever that look through. 6-inch thick.
That's right. Here it is.
It's in a shortcut format.
It is, teachers, especially teachers in small schools, they are all handed sponsorship. Here you go. You're going to be the sponsor of this. They do not teach you how to do this in teacher education. And I mean, it's really, this is what will get you in trouble. And it's strictly because you just don't know how to handle it. And it's not that anyone would ever do anything wrong. That's not it. It's just, if you're ever put in that situation where the question is put to you, prove it. Where's your paper trail? That's the question you've got to be able to answer. And this, having this handbook and where we can sit down with them, here's your handbook. This is, starting today, this is how you're going to do it. And you're not going to deviate from this. I can teach them how to establish a paper trail. And I can also show them what's going to happen if they don't follow this. And it's just to give them an opportunity to protect themselves. So that's the purpose.
Motion to run
Second?
All those in favor?
Smith.
Yes.
Herrera.
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
And Jessup.
Yes. Item 10, board to consider and vote to approve calling for annual election resolution, calling for an election to be submitted to the voters to select a candidate for Freedom School Board position number 3.
Highlighted. The annual election resolution is for number 3 is the voters shall elect a board member for board position number 3, which has a 4-year term of office.
And that's Jan's seat. Or is it conscious? Jan's the 5 year.
Yeah, I'm only at 4.
Two and a half, so about 4.5.
Yeah, I mean,
Put
the
your
seat's
name
only
in.
for 4
Yeah.
versus 5.
Well, you don't have to go sign up again.
You won't even sign up on the 5 year.
Yeah.
You think 4 is not enough, go for 5.
Is there a motion on item 10?
I'll make a motion we approve item 10.
All those in favor?
Smith,
Yes.
Herrera,
Yes.
Morris.
Yes.
Jessup.
Yes. Item 11, board to consider and vote to approve calling for annual election resolution, calling for an election to be submitted to the voters to select a candidate for Freedom School Board position number 4.
And that is the voters shall elect a board member for board position number 4, which has a 5-year term of office.
I'll make a motion to approve item 11.
Second. All those in favor?
Smith,
Yes.
Herrera,
Yes.
Morris.
Yes.
Jessup.
Yes.
Wow, that's
Could I ask who holds that seat?
Huh?
Who holds the seat before?
Jan? Item number 12 is new business.
I have none.
Item 13 is to adjourn.